Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and welcome back to another one of my reaction videos. And today we're going to be reacting to the battle of the century, again, Goku vs. Superman the Third. If you saw my prediction video for this episode, which by the way, I've been avoiding this whole time. I don't think I've read a single comment on that video because I've been trying to avoid the community aspect of this debate as much as possible for obvious reasons. But if you did see that video, then you'll know that I wasn't really the most excited for this announcement. I understood that it could have been a very good episode, and I still think it could be a very good episode, but I wasn't really that excited for another Goku versus Superman. However, now, while I can't say that my mind has fully changed, I am more excited for this episode. Not just because they're using different material for these two, unique material for this battle alone, and they're not treating this as Goku versus Superman 3, it's basically as if the first two never happened, and they're redoing it, completely. But it's not just that, it's also the fact that we see that Ben Singer and a lot of the rest of the team is really passionate about this fight, and they just really want to make sure that they can do this fight justice, make an episode that they are proud of, now that they've gotten so much better, and, the production value is insane these days, so honestly, I can respect that a lot, so I don't really feel like I have any reason to complain anymore. I will still say, though, that I would still much prefer a new matchup with the same level of passion and work and all that stuff. I still think a new matchup would have been better than doing this. But still, I understand why they wanted to do this fight specifically, so I will roll with it. I'm sure it's going to be a fun time. In terms of who I'm rooting for in this battle, I'm rooting for both of them. I don't see how you could know both characters very well and not want to root for both of them, to try to root against one of them. Because, when I was young, I really loved Superman, and, I liked him more than Goku, and then as I grew up, I liked Goku a lot more, and I liked Superman a lot less, and these days, I like them both basically equally, somewhat for the same reasons, but also for completely different reasons at the same time, It's, these characters are both so important, I feel, and so inspirational, they're just both great characters. In terms of who I think is going to win, of course, again, they're using material that they haven't really used before, or at least not super seriously, so, I'm open to their interpretation of how all of this stuff works, but my initial instinct is that Superman is gonna win again. It's very, very good for Goku that he has some of that extra material, like Super Dragon Ball Heroes and all of that, but, when we're looking at Superman and the Infinite Frontier material, that basically just combines all Supermans together, including pre-Crisis, which is insane, that's some ridiculous stuff, and we've seen even just in past death battles, like Wally West versus Archie Sonic, and, Xeno Trunks versus Archie Silver, we can already get somewhat of an idea of how Death Battle may look at this episode, even with them using new material here, stuff they haven't used for the other two Goku versus Superman episodes, but still, I digress, I'm open to hearing what they have to say about it either way, and it's really based on the analyses. I have to watch that first before I can make a judgment on what they will say. So, without further ado, let's get started.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Alright, let's go. Oh, animation right off the bat. Okay, a little bit. That was still cool, though.
Goku, Superman.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to answer the ultimate question, and we're taking it all
again.
into play.
We're examining Superman's extensive mainline comic book canon. Given Dragon Ball Super's contentious continuities, we'll include all three, just to be thorough, plus Dragon Ball Heroes.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
Just in case anyone didn't get the Twitter
weapons,
posts
armor,
or
and
didn't see the
skills to
Twitter
find out
posts
who
or
will
anything
win
like that.
A death battle.
But man, Goku versus Superman, let's go.
Far away, in an enchanted land, an old master
I am
found
excited
a
to see how they're going to
boy
do
and
the
marveled at his
analyses, especially.
uncommon strength. This is the story of Son Goku.
Chances are, if you've watched some localized anime, you can thank this guy.
Inspired by martial arts
such an
films and his wife's
inspiration
interest
in
Chinese
so many
culture,
other
Akira
series.
Toriyama crafted the story and the character that would define generations to come.
Dragon Ball! Kakarot was born a low-class Saiyan on the planet Vegeta, narrowly escaped its destruction by Frieza, and was raised on Earth
We
by
saw Frieza
happy old
earlier.
Grandpa Gohan.
In Death Battle, I mean.
But trained.
Oh, that's a lot of
began
text
Goku's
there,
teachings
more than
in
usual.
martial arts, which he would find to be his true
Not a
calling
bad dad,
in
you
the
guys are
guidance of
just
Master
mean.
Roshi.
Yeah,
Specifically, he
fair
learned
enough.
the Kame-sen and Ryu style, which focuses on discipline and tenacity, both of which strongly define Goku's character.
Oh, absolutely.
The more he learned,
To a
the more he
T.
wanted to improve. This little low-class monkey boy would prove that hard work and dedication can beat raw talent. Within just a few years, he was so strong, the only worthy teachers left were gods.
And a talking cat.
But mostly gods.
Yes, okay, good.
To dodge lightning.
I'm happy they did a
You know
callback
you're
to that
few
joke.
leagues over
That's a good
everyone
joke.
else.
He did have a slight advantage. Saiyans are naturally superhuman.
Yes,
They also
there
take
is
Nietzsche's
some
famous
talent
words,
involved,
what doesn't
but,
kill you makes you stronger.
you know, a lot of skill,
very,
too.
Very literally.
It's
Yes.
almost unfair how much of a boost in power they get after they're hurt.
While Saiyans like Vegeta may have abused this trait, it suits Goku.
Yeah.
No matter how many times you knock him down, he will get back up stronger than before.
It helps that he
Kinda
knows
like
so
Death
many
Battle.
cool
He's back
combat
stronger.
moves, like the Kamehameha.
An incredibly powerful technique that focuses one's ki into a single point for a devastating
I mean,
beam.
we all know what a
So
Kamehameha
challenging, it
is,
took
but
Roshi decades
they
to
gotta go-
master,
they gotta
but
go over
Goku
it.
got it in like 5 seconds.
It's
Yeah.
incredibly versatile, with over 50 different variations. For example, Goku can curve the beam after firing, or even shoot it from his feet.
But unlike most
That's pretty
Saiyans,
cool.
he doesn't just use ki to blow shit up. Moves like the Solar Flare, Energy Landmine, and God Bind require a lot more strategy and planning.
Because while Goku
Yeah.
isn't exactly book smart, he is a genius when it comes to martial arts.
And that's
He
the
doesn't
stuff that
just train to
matters,
conquer
right?
His opponents, but to conquer
at least,
himself.
you know,
He's
mostly.
also got some different moves, like trapping you in a rice cooker.
Well, pretty much any container could be used for the Mothama sealing technique.
Then there's Kaio
Makes sense.
aka instant steroids. Goku multiplied his power by 20 with it before, and in a movie, he even got it up to times 100. What
Jeez.
a badass!
The Genki Dama, or
That's like
Spirit
5
Bomb,
times
is
as much.
potentially its strongest attack, but it requires considerable time. Unlike
Yeah.
instant transmission, which is a teleport
Which is
that's
instant.
Instant. The way it works
Yeah.
is Goku detects another person, like a sort of beacon, then teleports to their location by launching himself through an alternate dimension where time stands still. Yes, according to the Daizenshuu guidebook, it's a dimension hop. You can actually see this in between space in some movies and games.
And the
That's
dubs
pretty cool.
wanted us to
I like
think
how they
it
do
shot
that.
Goku's molecules around at light speed.
Yeah, no.
Silly English.
The
The
stupid
dubs are more than that.
translations.
In fact, early dubs of Dragon Ball Z tried to rewrite Goku as a Superman figure. Even
Yeah.
his famous speech on Namek about being the light in the darkness was originally about him coming to terms with his Saiyan heritage. Accepting
Right.
his anger,
Kinda
and
like
pride,
Superman.
avenging his people by defeating Frieza, and declaring himself the Super Saiyan.
Hell
So
yeah.
cool.
If there's any scene that deserves the word epic, it's when he went gold. Super
Yeah.
Saiyan and its sequels all have official power multipliers, but they threw
Yep,
us for a
that
loop
doesn't
by
surprise
turning
me they're still
Goku
using
into a
those.
god.
Super Saiyan God certainly changed things up. Goku
Oh, yeah.
gained Divine Ki, a pure form of Ki unspoiled by mortal hands. Unlike normal Ki, it can't be detected and appears to have healing properties.
Kinda like senzu
That's good.
beans. Did
Like
you
a
know
built-in
one
senzu bean.
has so much healing juice it can regenerate a person's lost limbs? They're missing out.
Goku reached a level of power
I was about to
that
say,
could
does he
compete
want
with
his
the
leg back?
greatest
But
of
no, that makes more
deities,
sense.
Nearly shattering the whole universe with a single clash. on
Yeah,
his
we have to get to
first
this,
go.
obviously.
Dragon Ball's cosmology is unique. This model is said to be an accurate depiction of Universe 7, but there's a wrinkle there. When all of
Okay.
humanity went to heaven,
Because Boo went berserk.
Videl commented that heaven is just as large as a universe, and the Daizenshuu backs her up.
And
Okay.
that's heaven. Big planet.
So let's scale things up with that in mind. Doing so would make Universe 7 over 1,500 times larger than our own observable universe.
And
Whoa,
Goku
that's a
could
bigger
destroy
number
that
than I
much the
remember.
first
Although maybe
time
it's
he
based
went
on the other
God.
material.
And he didn't lose that power. He learned how to use it even better, even in base form. Now, imagine how much stronger he became when he stacked Super Saiyan on Super Saiyan God. And
Yeah.
became Super Saiyan Blue.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
Yeah, not saying that. Or he trained with some almighty.
I used to say that all the time,
Or
I
when
just
he
say blue
perfected
now.
The blue hairdo and stacked Kaioken on top of that.
Yeah, you can
Goku
just
has certainly
stack over and
performed
over.
great feats with God Ki, breaking through Hit's time stop by forcing himself into the future, holding off Infinite Zamasu, who was a sentient timeline, defeating Jiren, who shook the entire world of Void by just walking.
He
Yeah.
even tried out Hakai, the destruction god move that nopes you out of existence. Your being and your soul erased from all of time and space.
Culminating in his greatest form, Ultra Instinct.
Yep.
From Goku isn't
Never
a
seen this
normal
before on the show.
transformation, It's a state of mind. Ultra Instinct is the highest peak of martial arts, subconsciously making optimal choices because you're in the zone. doing without thinking.
Something
Right.
Goku has always been trained to do. Technically, it can be used in any form, but when perfected, Autonomous Ultra Instinct makes you untouchable. No matter what comes
Well,
his
depending
way,
on who you're fighting,
Goku will
but yeah.
automatically dodge, block, and counter to the best of his ability, even
Mm-hmm.
pushing his body well beyond his physical limits. So far beyond, in fact, Ultra Instinct can summon a massive avatar to defend him when his own body can't.
That sounds
That's
really
pretty crazy.
intense.
It is, which is why he's developed incremental versions of it for specific uses. It's
Okay.
extremely difficult to maintain the full form for long.
Until you get to Dragon Ball Heroes.
Gotcha.
AKA Dragon Ball fanfiction gone Kaioken times 1,000.
While technically a different continuity, CC Goku is functionally a stand-in for the mainline Goku. His history and powers are the same, making his story just as much of a what-if scenario as the multiple super continuities. The only real difference is Toriyama's not really involved.
This Goku
Yeah,
used
some people may not
instant
like that
transmission
very
to
much,
teleport
but yeah.
through time and dimensions. He outsped a god who could see the future. He defeated Dark King Fu, who was gonna rewrite the entire universe. Hell, this series even makes GT cool. Xeno Goku can break space-time just by going Super Saiyan 4.
Looking back at that goofy monkey boy chopping wood and punching
Yeah,
dinosaurs,
it's crazy.
It's almost overwhelming to think about how far Goku has come, how much he's had to face.
But no matter the challenge, he takes it head-on and
Yep.
pushes through.
Showing everyone,
Such a
everywhere,
great
how
great
to go
inspiration.
even further
Great
beyond.
everything. Alright, that was cool.
Faster
And
than
now
a
we get to
speeding bullet,
Superman.
More powerful than a locomotive. It's a bird. It's a plane.
It's Superman!
Superman.
Geez,
Yep.
just a locomotive? People in the 40s needed bigger imaginations.
Born on the
Oh, don't worry, we
far-off
have
world
him
of
now.
Krypton, the infant Kal-El was sent to Earth by his parents.
But it was cool I did that
Barely escaping
classic
Krypton's
classic
destruction.
introduction.
Raised by farmers as Clark Kent, he eventually became Superman, champion of the oppressed.
That was
the
quick. He
man of
eventually
tomorrow.
became
If you've only
Superman,
seen
but
the
that is
movies,
true.
Forget him. Comic book Clark's not the perfect Boy Scout. And he's definitely
Well, he's been
not
around a
Jesus.
long time,
Wait,
you know, he's
weren't the
bound
guys who made
to-
him Jewish?
Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster were sons of
Yeah, they
Jewish
were.
immigrants and grew up in a time when anti-Semitism went largely unchallenged.
And then that ugly mustache showed up.
Get outta
Understandably
here.
Seeking escape from some truly terrifying horrors, the pair created Superman to be a simple solution to overwhelming problems.
A hero who could defeat
And that's
any evil
the new
by
show,
just
right? My
punching
Adventures
it.
with Superman?
Hell yeah, that's how
I haven't
live
seen
my
any
life.
of that.
After almost 9 decades, Superman has been many things. At the
Mm-hmm.
core, his story is one of a refugee, a child who
He has
lost
a lot
his
of
home,
love
left to
interests.
the mercy
Very
of alien
true.
people. This new world accepted him, raised him, gave him a new home, because helping others in need is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
That's why he became a superhero, the first superhero.
Everything's
Essentially.
gotta start somewhere, but he was the first one to really take off. I mean, not literally. It took a while actually
Well-
before he learned how to fly.
In fact, when
Right.
Clark discovered his
the-
Kryptonian heritage,
but in both senses, he
struggled to
took off.
accept it and subconsciously developed mental blocks, severing him from his true power, which he would uncover throughout his life.
He's
Yeah.
strong enough to shoulder press the weight of the earth for 5 days straight, or crush
That was an
coal
insane
into
feat to learn
perfectly cut
about.
Diamond.
That's not how that works.
He's fast
It
enough
is in
to
comic
reach
books.
the edge of the universe in seconds, or even break the bonds of infinity.
Yeah, there we go,
Wait, he can
pre-crisis
do all
already.
that, but Batman can punch him out? Really?
You're probably thinking of Elseworld stories outside main canon like Dark Knight Returns. It's a good question.
Well, Batman,
Superman's
he's
powers
done.
have
They've had a lot of
fluctuated over
fights.
time for a variety of reasons. However, for Death Battle, we take the characters at their best.
Yeah. Like how his breath is so
the best of what they've
powerful,
shown,
it can
you
seize
know.
away a solar system, or
Probably
blow
not
air
infinite
cold enough to
power.
freeze ghosts.
Speaking of, his
Freeze
X-ray
ghosts.
vision doesn't
Wow.
just see through walls. He can see through your own body and mind to examine your soul.
And yet, he can't
I don't have a
see through
soul,
lead.
so
That's
good luck with
okay,
that.
Though, he can just burn through it with his face. Since he gets his power from the yellow sun, his heat vision burns with the fire of a star. And if
Mm-hmm.
beams aren't enough, he can blast it out of his whole body for a super flare.
Yeah,
It
the
used
super
to
flare.
totally drain him, but he's learned how to control it.
Simply
That's
put,
good.
Superman's powers
It doesn't surprise
defy
me either.
Physics. My favorite examples of this are when he rebuilt the reality warping
Such cool
miracle
effects, like I have the
machine
smoke
from
there
memory. Or
for like a
punched
still comic
Brainiac
panel.
so hard every version of him felt it through all of time. Or when he gained 10 years worth of medical training through only 5 minutes of reading and then successfully performed lung surgery.
Nice.
See,
My
that's one of
favorite
those
example
powers
is
I'm
when
like
he
super
smelled
jealous
brownies
of. I
in
wish I could do
Dakota
stuff like
from
that.
orbit.
Even beyond his powers, Superman is no novice when it comes to the intricacies of battle.
He's trained
Right.
in Kryptonian martial arts, which uses G, or or as they call it, Shriar. He even got summoned to Asgard to fight demons with Thor for 1,000 years.
Superman
Right.
can
I think they brought that up
resist
in the
being
first
erased
episode.
from existence, such as tanking Darkseid's Omega Beams. Even Retcon and the Time Trapper, both of which hijack and alter timelines, can't touch him. Not because of his powerful mental defenses or healing factor, but because he's a cosmic linchpin in the greater metaverse.
Timelines literally
Yeah,
revolve
that could
around
help.
him.
But let's address the
Against some
action
existence
elephant in the
erasure
room.
stuff
You may have
or
noticed we
similar
covered
stuff.
A variety of Superman eras. Superman and DC Comics as a whole.
Well, that's
have
Superboy
gone through
Prime,
multiple
right?
retcons.
Golden Age, Silver Age, Pre-Crisis, Post-Crisis, New 52, Rebirth, and so on.
It
Yeah.
would help to know which one is the main Superman, right? Well, they all are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
latest
they
reboots
now all
basically
are.
said everything in the main series is kind of canon, even when he had wacky powers like changing his appearance with a super muscular control. Ew. I guess he can still phase through almost anything, even people.
Look, if you
Yeah.
really dig into it, this isn't new. Plenty of characters have recalled events from supposedly retcon timelines before.
Yeah.
Post-crisis Soups did start
Whether or not
less
that's
powerful than
intentional, it's
pre-crisis,
just happened.
But that was because of the mental blocks.
Though he's not a complete composite, there's so many other Supermen out there.
Future
Yeah.
Superman, Big Robot Superman.
Yeah, I don't think we're using
Superman,
any of those.
Dinosaur Superman. There's a bunch.
Still, this new canon has affected his abilities. For example, he and other Kryptonians can effortlessly travel through time. And while Superman's powers stem from the Earth's yellow sun, exposure to a blue star increases them even further.
Yep.
In fact, upon visiting a white star, he attained a whole new level of power.
Isn't
When
our
that
star
old baldy
technically
Lex
white, though?
teleported him to another galaxy.
Whatever.
Superman just popped back up, saying space-time has lost its meaning for him. He really just said that.
Remember, Superman defies physics.
Like
Yeah.
when he used heat vision to restart the universe by making an all-new Big Bang.
We've seen that his universe has a radius of at least 100 trillion light years, but we can calculate a more exact figure.
Oh
Since
boy,
his
okay, let's
universe
see how
is
this
15
goes.
billion years old and expands at 60 trillion light years per half second. This means its radius
So under
must
20
be
trillion every second.
over 50 nonillion light years across.
What? That's 31 zeros, and Soup
Yeah.
can't make that happen.
Well, about one.
Well, they measured it
That's
in
still
light years,
immense
not
power, but if you want
universes.
something bigger, here's the anti.
Well, I guess because it was one
Golden Age
universe.
Superman with all the energy of the antimatter universe, and then Superman, you know.
Punched him so hard it kickstarted another one of those reboots.
Now, Superman
Yeah.
does have weaknesses. There's kryptonite, of course, and exposure to red starlight can fade his powers over time.
Not all at once. He has been able to move planets around while under a red
Yeah,
star.
yeah, he's gotten better,
And
but
everyone knows Superman
not like it's an
can't deal with
immunity.
magic. But it's more accurate to say he doesn't have any special resistance.
Yes,
to it.
that is
He's
100%
defeated
true.
Plenty of magic users before.
just means
Even
his
Shazam.
invulnerability doesn't
Superman
work
challenges
against
the
it.
idea that absolute power corrupts absolutely. He's the goodest good guy of them all.
Yep.
But there is nuance.
And honestly,
to
we
being
need,
good, even
like,
if he
an
is the
incorruptible
ultimate power
superhero.
fantasy, unstoppable and incorruptible.
Such as when he took on the World Forger, one of the most
Yeah.
powerful reality shapers.
This is like
in
the final
all of
Batsuit
creation.
story.
Who was in the sixth dimension, crafting a whole new multiverse to replace the one Clark calls home? Who's
Yep.
gonna stop him?
Superman could, and the Forger knew it. So he was trapped on a world with a sun so distant he could never escape. Or so the Forger thought.
Instead, Clark found the strength he needed to fly at that sun, dip through a ton of stars, KO the World Forger, and shatter his new multiverse with a single punch. Because
Yeah.
that's Superman, a simple solution to overwhelming problems.
He's the kind of person to save a cat from a tree, answer Christmas cards from strangers,
Yeah.
and tow hundreds
Nothing
of
is
planets
beneath
to a new
him,
galaxy, all in the
which is
same
so
day.
amazing.
What's not to like?
Truth and justice has no better champion than the Man of Steel.
Hell yeah. Okay,
All right, the combatants are
So now we
set
get to
in
the
front of
battle.
through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
alright, and let's pause the video. Okay, so I don't know how much I'm going to talk about this because frankly, a lot of this stuff seems a little difficult to compare, but I will say that it seemed like they were pulling out some things that could really help Superman. Like, it seemed like anything that has to do with, like, you know, time-altering events or, like, reality, like, erasing you from reality or anything like that. It seems like Superman does have a lot of resistances to those, which I already knew he did, but, like, Death Battle is bringing them up too, which is good, because if they didn't bring them up at all, that'd be like, oh, I don't know if they're really going to be taking those into account. But it looks like they are, and that's a good thing. So, based on that, it seems like that, you know, Goku isn't just gonna hack Superman away, but it is still difficult, you know, with the whole size of their universe. Like, they were talking about, you know, Superman created a new Big Bang, which was like something nonillion light years across. And our own universe, well, there's the observable universe, and then there's the overall universe. I don't remember exactly what the overall universe is. And I remember they were talking before about, like, the DC universe is, like, what, 1 billion times our own universe? So, I don't know. Yeah, I guess if we use that number, I remember that from Goku Black versus Reverse Flash. So if you say, like, that's 1 billion times the universe, and then, you know, there's also the whole multiverse shattering thing with the World Forger. So we have that. Again, though, they were talking about how Goku could, you know, take on characters that were, you know, dealing with multiversal destruction as well. But I'd still want to say that they're going to say DC's is bigger, which, again, is stuff that we've seen before. But it's still difficult to say. And it seems like for Speed, they can both do things that, like, you know, regular distance over time, like, would not be able to achieve. Like, you know, being able to outspeed someone who can, like, see the future. And obviously, you know, Superman can time travel now, but also, like, break the bonds of infinity. Both of them seem to have feats similar-ish to that. So it is a little tough, but my gut is still telling me Superman, but it's difficult because I don't feel like I have, like, a really strong argument for it right now based on what they've said. It's just based on what I'm aware of for these characters. And, you know, maybe I'm missing something with Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Maybe, like, there's some, like, stacking involved that will actually put Goku above Superman in their eyes, like with Hulk versus Broly. I could see them pulling that out. But otherwise, I don't really have much more to say. My gut is still telling me Superman, but if they go with Goku and they have a good enough reason for it, then I will live. So, without further ado, let's go. How much video do we have? We have quite a bit of video left. And we're starting right with the fight. Track sounds pretty nice. We're going all over the place already. Models look pretty good.
We'll finally settle who's stronger.
Finally.
If you say so.
Okay. They can both move super fast. It's an interesting background for the start of the fight. I wonder if things are gonna, like, change over time. Oh, man. I don't know why I'm saying, like, they can do way more than that, but still cool. Damn, come on, Superman. No capes. That's what happens.
I'm doing just fine.
If you say so. That was cool with the water. Already Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue. Oh no, please don't destroy the Earth again, guys. Damn, look at this. And now they're in space. Okay, that makes sense. Ow! Ooh! Did he, like, absorb it, kinda?
Well, I guess we can.
Well, okay, I guess blowing up the moon isn't as bad, but...
All right, I'll show you just
that was a reference to the show. That was cool. Oh! Was that Masako X? I'm not sure. Yeah, that's it, just some random guy. The original voice actors. Is that Cosmic Armor Superman? Holy shit! We're back on Earth. Oh man. Is his like...
Well,
oh, I thought like his big avatar thing was gonna go.
That was awesome. Nice suit.
Oh, thanks. Kryptonian fabric. My mom made it for me.
We got base form Goku. I don't know if he's gonna do... Okay, well, Ultra Instinct? Yeah, I had a feeling. Oh, ow! Explosive. It's going so fast. I'm gonna have to watch this so many times, and there goes the mountains. I do like the track. It's very fitting. Now, come on, Superman! I just don't want to see either of these guys lose, you know? And there's the super flare. But he should be fine. Yeah, just go to the sun. Okay. Going to... Yeah, he could go to all those suns super fast. Or all those stars. Oh, man. You know what? This happened last time, but what about this time? Oh my god, that shot! That shot! Oh no! Oh man! I can't even tell what's happening! Oh my god! Sure, just destroy everything for the fun of it. What happened? Goku is here?
Huh?
But where? Oh, the afterlife.
Almost had me there. That was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it sure was. But I'll be stronger next time.
I look forward
I'm
to
sure
it.
you will.
Let's go again.
You're on.
Ah, that was nice.
KO! That's it! The final, indisputable answer! Who
Is
am I
it,
kidding?
though?
We're gonna argue this one forever.
There are
Yeah.
so many ways this battle could go, especially with all the other continuities.
Yeah,
for real,
I'd agree with
Goku
that.
would kick almost every other Superman's ass, except for the main one.
There's a lot to cover, so let's address the 5 categories most representative of this fight.
Sure.
First up, strength. Both could hit hard enough to break or make their whole universe, or take it in stride, like when Superman got smacked by the whole antimatter universe.
Yeah.
At most, Dragon Ball's universe is 1,505 times larger than our own. But based on the DC Universe's officially established age and rate of expansion,
Yeah.
it is 1.6 vigintillion times larger.
Okay,
Over a
more than a
novecillion
billion.
times more than Goku's.
That's
Yeah.
something. It's a number high enough that it just doesn't mean anything anymore. Anyway, Goku's obviously
Yeah.
gotten stronger since the Beerus fight. Even
Yeah.
by billions or trillions of times.
Absolutely.
He's defeated Jiren, Broly, Moro, and Fu.
But even if we highball Goku by quadrillions or quintillions of times, the gap is just too much. Especially
Yeah.
with the World Forger feat. Not even
Yeah,
Heroes
even
can
with
do
this
that.
new material,
Superman takes the edge in
it just-
strength.
But strength
Yeah.
isn't everything. Let's talk
It felt
speed.
like it
Both
was
are
gonna go that
obviously
way.
faster than light, but Superman crossed that mega-sized universe of his in seconds and flew faster than infinity.
Makes sense. He can keep up with the Flash, whose speed
Yeah.
is so ludicrous it's unquantifiable.
Exactly, if you can compare him to the
Count
Flash in
Goku out,
any
though.
way.
Flying across the entire afterlife in base form and outspeeding Eos's future sight takes some crazy speed.
Fighting
It does.
Zamasu as an omnipresent merged timeline also implies immeasurable speeds.
That, combined with instant transmission and ultra instinct, could probably keep up.
Maybe. Quantifiably, Superman is faster, but both are
Okay.
immeasurable. The safest bet here is to say they tie in speed.
Especially
I'm fine
when
with
we look
that.
at skill.
Sure.
Goku's a martial arts master. He's definitely got better battle instincts. He wants to fight and is dedicated
Yeah.
to his training.
And Superman's
while
no
Superman
slouch,
sees
but
training
Goku-
as a means to an end.
Superman's
Goku
knowledge of
definitely
precision
has
point
a
combat
little
and
more
Kryptonian
in that
martial arts
area.
are impressive, but he's only used them a few times. It would be
Yeah.
disingenuous to
Goku
say
is
he's an
constantly
equivalent master.
improving
So
himself.
Goku wins in skill, but not necessarily in experience.
Don't get it
No.
wrong, Superman is not
Especially
a
when you combine
mindless brawl.
everything.
He's trained with Batman and Wonder Woman. He's even defeated martial arts experts like Cobra without powers.
Goku has spent decades training, but Superman battled Norse demons for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
He's also astonishingly brilliant, like when he reassembled the reality warping miracle machine from memory. Experience obviously goes to Superman.
And then
But
powers,
perhaps
I'm
less
assuming this
obvious
is also
our last
Superman?
category, powers.
Hakai, Spirit Bomb, Mafuba, Instant Transmission.
I'm guessing we're getting to,
God
like, to
Ki,
resistances
God Bind.
now.
How does Goku not win with those?
In Dragon Ball, Ki is dependent on physical ability, so it's different from magic. God Ki is
Yeah.
simply pure Ki, and magic isn't an auto win against Superman anyway, whose greater strength could break out of something like the God Bind.
Mafuba and the Spirit
Right,
Bomb
yeah, I
would
guess it
take
still
way
depends
too
on how
long,
powerful
and
you
Goku's
are.
never successfully used Hakai before. Even if he did land it, Superman's impossible to erase from reality.
Yep.
He's tanked over Mega Beams, which do the same thing as a Kai.
Superman
Exactly.
can time travel, countering instant transmission's similar ability from Heroes. And regarding teleporting him to a red star, ignoring the fact that Saiyans can't breathe in space, though Goku's certainly tough enough to withstand a vacuum, instant transmission requires another person to act as a beacon. He can't just warp to any red star.
Even if he did, Superman could
Interesting.
simply fly away and find a blue or white star for a supercharge.
And Goku could not pull off the same trick twice, as Superman could
Actually, I
phase
do want to
through-
read this. Just because I know they're going to go over this, but I just want to get it. So Goku, greater martial arts mastery, yeah, more varied techniques. Yeah, if you're looking at like, you know, how many abilities there are, yeah, Goku does have a lot of variations, so that would definitely help there. Better mobility via instant transmission, limited ki energy, ultra instinct is similar to Theta state, so you know, and also potentially similar speeds. And then with Superman, yeah, you have like the same thing, like 2 equals and 1 minus, but like just more pluses. Far greater strength, more experience, higher intelligence, superior stamina via sunlight. Yeah, depending on where he is, but if you're looking at them at their best, then yeah, absolutely. Counters most of Goku's techniques, limited martial arts mastery, and then the same things as Goku. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Let me just back up so I can get all this.
Can't just warp to any red star.
Even if he did, Superman could simply fly away and find a blue
Yeah,
or white star for
with
a
those ridiculous
supercharge.
speeds,
And
he
Goku
could.
not pull off the same trick twice, as Superman could phase through his attacks.
So that's it then. Clark has too many counters, so he takes the edge in powers and it's over.
Well, I think there's something else.
Okay.
Goku versus Superman breaches a broader zeitgeist.
ERB.
It's more than just two characters fighting. For a whole generation, especially in 90s America, superheroes represented an unyielding status quo. Spider-Man,
Yep.
Batman, Captain America rarely change who they are or what they believe in. For a lot of people, that's tiring, and Superman is an icon of that. Then along came anime. There was a whole other world of ideas and stories for us sheltered Westerners to experience, and Goku's an icon of
Yeah,
that.
anime is
So while
awesome.
many see this as a debate between characters, others see it as a debate of ideologies and culture. And if
Yeah.
that's what's at stake, who wants Goku to lose?
No one.
You're sure you're not overthinking this?
It's not our intent, but it does call into question what we're doing. How can people agree with what we take as fact when fiction relies on interpretation?
100%.
Are we stripping characters of their importance by simplifying them to contestants in a vacuum of violence? And if so, then what's the point?
Because it's fun. Wiz.
Yeah,
Damn it,
that's
man.
why we
There's
do
more
this to
than
have
one
fun.
way to appreciate something. We're having a great time talking about awesome characters and
Yeah,
slamming action
I know
figures
I
together.
am.
And that's okay.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just saying, no matter who you prefer, that battle was super, man.
That's the worst pun.
What? It's
He's had worse.
So lame.
I don't see you doing any better.
I do the math. The pun's your job.
Well, maybe.
Are they
if
even gonna
math
say
is good as
Superman
I
wins?
punned, Then Goku would have won.
What is wrong with you?
They don't even get to say it. My
I'm
God.
Ben, the voice of Wiz. Thank you so much for watching.
Okay,
We are about
next
to
up
announce
is the
next
season
episode,
finale.
but before we do that,
It
if you're
has
not a
to
Death
top
Battle member
this,
yet, hit that
right?
join button below. See what you're missing.
So what do we got as the season finale? Season 10 finale. Oh my God! That's That's Galactus versus Unicron. Sorry. That after so many years, I'm sorry, this is just so much whiplash. After so many years of waiting, of thinking it was gonna happen and it not happening, and then the season 10 finale, Galactus versus Unicron, #1 most requested matchup in Death Battle history. Yeah, you better believe it is. It's been like one of the most requested since season 2. Oh my God. Holy crap. Okay, for those of you who don't know me, which is probably a lot of you, this was my most wanted matchup after Stitch versus Rocket happened. I am now literally getting my 2 most wanted matchups ever in season 10. I can't continue with the video. I'm so speechless. Stitch versus Rocket, don't get me wrong, Stitch versus Rocket was my most wanted like my most wanted fight, you know, in general. And when that got revealed, I was, you know, insanely happy. For me, that was more happiness than it was hype. And don't get me wrong, like, it was my most wanted. I wanted it more than this. But this one, after waiting for it for so long, for Death Battle specifically, this is just pure hype. Like, unfiltered hype. Oh my god. I cannot wait to see how Death Battle pulls this off. Especially after Season 10. Because, like, so much of Season 10 has been so good, especially in the second half of this season. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I don't know what else to say. I am so excited for this. And I'll have a prediction where I'm probably just gonna fanboy all over the place like I'm doing right now. But it is Galactus versus Unicron. We won. After so many years, we won. And I was thinking it could either be the Season 10 finale or episode 200. But then after the Cypher Wheel stuff, I didn't think it was gonna be Galactus versus Unicron. But I guess maybe this one is like the Skull and Bones, which would then mean, like, what's Scooby versus Courage then? Because that's kind of what I assumed the Skull and Bones would be. It would have to be something else. I'm not even sure. And that means the suit would have had to have been taken up already. Maybe that was Rick versus the Doctor, but I thought that was the Beaker. I have no idea. I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm just Galactus versus Unicron. Anyway, that's enough of that. Talking about this episode. So that was fun. I did enjoy that. You know, I'm not sure if I would say it's the best episode that they have done in Season 10, but as a general, you know, breakdown, like, it was such an insane breakdown of everything that they have done. Like, I appreciated all of that so much because I'm someone who really appreciates those details. And that's great to me. I love that they did that. The animation, you know, it was very quick, maybe at times a little too quick, but it was also just, you know, epicness, you know, incarnate. Like, so fun to watch, especially, and it gets enhanced by what they said at the end too, because, you know, they want to make it clear that, you know, just with all this versus debating stuff, that doesn't delegitimize who they are as characters and what their ideologies are, you know? So I do like how they threw that in. It's like a more improved version of what they said, like, at the end of Goku versus Superman 1, like, it's at the core of their character. And there was nothing about Superman having infinite power or anything like that. They didn't need it. So I do appreciate that as well. I did find some of the humor quite funny as well. Yeah, there's a lot to this episode because it's a long episode too, for Season 10 standards. I think it's like 5 or 6 minutes less than the first Goku versus Superman. So I appreciate, you know, all that time that they put into it, and, like, such a long script, you know, talking about all the things that they could do. And yeah, it's one of those I know I'm going to have to rewatch to get the full picture because these are just my initial thoughts. And I still have Galactus versus Unicron staring me in the face right now, which is already messing me up. But I did enjoy this episode. You know, obviously the first Goku versus Superman is a classic, you know, that's still a very good episode in its own right. But I do see this as being, like, the true Goku versus Superman, like, modern day Death Battle take. I think they did that very, very well. And again, I like the conclusion. I like how they broke things down the way they did and how they talked about the ideologies. The voice acting I thought was cool. Them breaking reality. We got to hear a little bit of the old voice actors. That was nice. Yeah, I don't have too many complaints for this episode. That's the thing. Like, a lot of these episodes nowadays, I don't have complaints for them. I'm just trying to think about what I liked about them. And there are some people who maybe there are some things that they catch that I don't, or that, you know, kind of piss them off more than it pisses me off or anything. But I'm not going to be upset if I enjoy a death battle a lot, you know, just saying. So I did enjoy this quite a bit. I'm going to have to rewatch it, but that was a lot of fun. That does feel like Goku versus Superman, and that's what I really wanted. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Who do you think should have won? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. Comment your comments down below. Subscribe if you could too. That would be amazing. But no matter what you guys do, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.